guys, welcome to the stream. Let's see about getting this started. Always takes a minute or two for everything to kind of catch up. So today is the fan art challenge, which I'm trying to fill up this sketchbook just full of fan art or things that have inspired me in the past. So, and I'll do a sketchbook tour video when I get it all finished, but you kind of see a piece that I did just finish earlier today. So I'm going to do another piece, maybe one or two pieces. I don't know. We'll kind of see how it goes. So, hi guys, good to see you all. This is awesome. I know I just posted today's video, so I actually meant to do the live stream last night, but some things came up, so I said, well, I will just do double whammy today, give you a video and a live stream. So woo woo. Yes, I am posting. If you do want sneak peeks of all the pictures that I've done in my sketchbook so far, which isn't very many because I just started at the beginning of March, so like 4 days ago. I post them on my Instagram page, so you can definitely go and check them out. So, but my goal is to try within the month of March to fill up this entire sketchbook. And there's a lot of pages, so definitely more than 30. So I will have to do more than just one picture a day, which is so far what I'm getting down. So hopefully I will be able to do more than just one a day, maybe do a couple a day, and then I will catch up. I'm trying to put my iPad where I can see it better, see your comments better. One stay iPad, stay. Such an unruly iPad. Now you're in the way. Hang on, we're fixing things. This is the fun of a live stream. All right, good enough. Oh no, now I lost your comments. Where's the comments? Show chat. There we go. Yay! All right. Well, I decided for this one, I've done this piece before, but because I want in this sketchbook just to be filled with things, fan art, but things that have inspired me in my own art journey, I want to do Sarah from the Zelda games. I've always loved her character. I always thought there was so much more to her story, and so I want to do a fan art piece for that. So that's what I'm going to do here. A couple of you guys have asked if you can join along in the fan art channel, and definitely it's I just added the word challenge because that just seems to be the in thing right now, to make everything a challenge. And it is going to be a bit of a challenge to fill up the sketchbook, but I'm just drawing fan art. So if you guys draw fan art and want to share it with me, make sure to tag me in your Instagram photos or on Twitter and stuff like that. I'd love to see them. So here we go, fan art for Sarah. Well, let me also know if the audio and video is good. My sister should be in the chat. If she's not now, she should be hopefully soon. So if there's any questions or anything like that, and you see Miss April talking, that's my sister. So she kind of helps with that. But I have my comments right down here so I can kind of look while I'm drawing. So do the 3 marker challenge. I have done the 3 marker challenge before, but it's getting close to being time to do another marker challenge. Though I do want to do a 3 marker challenge, but I have kind of an idea for a different type of marker challenge that I might want to do first. I feel like this camera's really, hang on, it's going to be a little shaky. There, shaky camera. And see me better. Hi. Oh, good. I'm glad the audio is good. We've had issues with the audio before. And so I don't know how to fix things like that. So when that happens, it's just like, how do I fix it? I don't always know. As a couple of weeks ago, I ended up breaking it really badly. But hey. Could I draw the Flash? I've never drawn the Flash before. I haven't done a lot of like superheroes. That would be a more of a challenge for me to draw kind of the muscular kind of people. Would be a bit of a challenge. there is an artist who does amazing superhero tutorials. And after the stream is over, I will try to remember to link his channel in the description box. I think his name is Toonbox. I think he does amazing superheroes. Thank you guys. You're so sweet in the comments. I love that. I am left-handed. Is it coming across that I'm right-handed? Must be mirrored. Nope, I'm left-handed. Video always kind of messes those kind of things up. I keep forgetting what I'm drawing. I'm just like reading comments and a random little drawing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm drawing an actual character. Can I draw an OC, an original character? I've drawn a couple of my own original characters. Or are you asking, can I draw your original character? That would be kind of a fun challenge to do one day, is to do it and draw your guys' original characters. So what type of paper am I drawing on? This is just a sketchbook. I think it's a, what brand is it? It is a Moleskine sketchbook. I really like them because they do bleed through a little bit, but not super bad. But they work great for colored pencils. Really good for markers, as long as you have a little paper behind it that helps with the bleed through. I am the one you saw my animation. Awesome. I'm going to do another animation. I was thinking about doing that for the live stream, but I didn't have enough time today to do a really long stream. But I want to do a closing animation. So I have the opening little animation thing. I want to do a closing animation. So if you haven't seen the video where I create that, go and check it out. It's kind of fun how, I like how you can use traditional art supplies and still animate them easily without having to do, you know, the tons and tons of drawings and things like that. You can just take one drawing and kind of break it down a little bit, and it works out great that way. So, have I ever watched the show Steven Universe? Well, I don't have television. I just have internet. So I've seen a couple of episodes that they have that I found like on YouTube and stuff. It's a pretty fun show. I like the originality in it. It's got some really fun characters. If they ever come to Netflix, then I'll be able to watch it. Or Amazon. I can watch Amazon. So if you ask a question, I'll try to answer questions. If you're just asking for a shout out, I generally don't just do shout outs for the sake of it. Only because if I do one, then the whole entire chat is just filled with people asking me to say their name. So, which is kind of annoying. But if you have a question, I'll try to answer your question. So do I have any tips for artists starting off? I always get this question. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a video that kind of goes a little bit more in depth with that, because the answer is always the same. I mean, it always boils down to artists starting off is just to practice. How do you get better at being an artist? Practice. The more you draw, the better you'll get. But I really want to give you guys a better answer than that, than just the typical one, because there is a lot of things as an artist that you can do when you're just starting off. Commitment to practice is always a big one, but finding that the genre or type of art that you enjoy can be, you know, challenging. Sometimes you kind of get stuck with thinking that this certain type of art is the only way that you can create. And so having fun and experimenting and trying all different types of art is super important. sometimes that can be kind of spendy, especially if you want to get into like painting and things like that. To invest like in a full set of oil paints or watercolors to try them out for once, and then realizing that maybe you're not into that. That can be a big investment. So if you ever have any friends that have an art medium, you can always ask them, can I borrow your art supplies just to try it out? And a lot of times, at least for me, when people ask if they can try out something, I'm more than happy to let them test out, especially if I see that they're committed to wanting to use, to learn to be a better artist. I've had people come over to my studio and try out my drawing tablet, my Cintiq tablet, just so they could see it and see if that was a good fit for them. I've had people come over and we watercolor together and all that fun stuff. Use my Copics. Because I know I would appreciate that if I was starting off and wanting to try out something. I've had artists let me do that. So how long is this stream? I'm hoping for at least an hour. We just got started just a little bit ago. So if you're just now joining, it's only been, I think, maybe, I'm trying to see, 10 minutes, about 10-minute long stream so far. Is that Judy Hopps from Zootopia? Yes, it is. Well, the human version of Judy Hopps. I was really excited for the Academy Awards this year. I didn't get a chance to watch them because, again, I don't have television. But I was really excited for the animation category. And simply because I liked all the entries, Moana, Zootopia, and Kubo. I was really rooting for Kubo to win. If you haven't seen Kubo and the Two Strings, amazing film. A little on the dark side, not light and fluffy, but so the story is amazing, and then the technical, how they technically made it was just, I mean, they did things that had never been done in stop motion animation. There are a ton of videos that Leica Studios did on how they made Kubo, and I would definitely recommend going and checking some of those out. And then I just found out that Leica Studios is really close to where I live. They're maybe about 4 or 5 hours away, and so I would love to go and visit their studios someday. I was hoping to get over there and visit their studios while they were still working on Kubo, but I was not fast enough. What type of markers do I use? I started off with Spectrum Noir markers. They're a good alcohol marker to get into, to test out to see if you like alcohol-based markers, because these types of markers can get really expensive. And I really liked them, and I was content to stay with them. And then I went to a convention, and you guys probably know the story. Tried out Copic markers for the first time and have never looked back since. So I pretty much only have Copic markers. I do have a couple of Pro markers from Winsor Newton. I've got 2 sets of those. So, but I pretty much stay with my Copics. I should do a collab with Monique. I do. I want to do a collab with all the with a whole bunch of different artists. I'm kind of working my way through my list of collabs. I have one collab that we just have to finalize it. I think it'll be a fun one. I'm excited for it. But it'll be a secret. Secret to find out who it is. All right, I'm too busy talking. I'm not sketching right. I'm going into the details before I lay down my base shapes, which is a dangerous thing to do. You always want to lay down your base shapes first. So if you guys have played the Zelda games, any numerous ones of them, is there a character that pops out that you just love the most, like your favorite Zelda character? I think Sarah was mine, simply because she has kind of, I mean, here she, if you ever played, which one was she in? The Ocarina of Time. And she ended up being one of the ancient guardians, I think. It's been so long since I played the game. But she was like Link's best friend growing up, and then, I don't know, to me I felt like she really liked him, and then she got stuck having to stay at the temple for the rest of her life, being one of the ancient guardians. I don't know. Her story kind of always made me sad. I like sad, tragic stories. Can I do a closed eyes with your other hand combination? Oh, like so blindfold challenge with my opposite hand. Whew, you guys are getting crazy with your challenges. So if you ever want to know the secret of how I make some of my circles, this is how I do it. So who am I drawing? I am drawing Sarah from one of the earlier Zelda games. Don't know what Zelda is. It's pretty sad. Actually, probably means you have a life. Zelda's a video game, which I spent far too many hours of my own life playing. Yeah, it's a pretty fun adventure. Oh, I like it. They've got a gazillion different games. I'm going to ask my mom to get me some watercolors. Any tips for using them? I have loads of tips for using watercolors. In fact, I put most of my tips in my Watercolor 101 series, so definitely check that out. When you're purchasing your watercolors, you're going to find that there's several different grades, and the lower the grade, usually the less the pigment is, and the light fast they are, meaning if the sun hits them, how quickly they fade. So your professional grades are going to have a higher pigmentation, and they're going to hold up with light much longer, but they're going to be very expensive. So there's student grades, which still have a really good pigment if you get a nice quality of student grades. They're not as light fast usually, but that's what I would recommend if you're just starting off in watercoloring, is to try some of those. There's also two different types of paint. You can get like little cakes they're dried paints in a little tin. Trying to see if I have mine around here somewhere. Maybe. So this is my travel one that I bought, which is the Raphael brand. So it has, I guess I put it here, it'd be easier for you guys to see. So it has all the colors here, and so you just put water on them, and it gets them all juicy again, and has a little palette, and you can use it, and when it dries, you can just take it with you. Or you can get the ones that are the tube, and you just put them on your palette, and then you can use them, and then when they dry, they just turn into cake ones. I like the tube ones best, because sometimes I want tube paints, and then after they're dried, they're just cakes, so you get both for the same thing, you know. But yeah, those are my two tips. I do see what you say. Did I say that right? I do see what you say. Yeah. Didn't think I didn't see, but I do. I'm getting 12 Copics for only $36. That's a good buy. Where are you picking those up at? I love watching your streams. They are good to draw along with. I'm drawing fan art myself. That's too fast. I draw when it's really calm and nice. Okay. Whew. I don't have my glasses on. For some reason, my eyes are like not wanting to focus today. I think I got eye makeup too close to them, so they're like, bleh. Yay, my sister's here. You guys see Miss April? That's my sister. So if you have any major question that I'm not seeing, just ask April to ask me, because she can text me, and then I will see your question. Hi Valerie, could you send a link in the chat to the exact sticker paper that you use? I can't seem to find anything. I haven't finalized what sticker paper I'm using myself. I'm still trying out different brands, and that's why in the 2 videos I never went and actually, said recommended this sticker paper, because my luck, I will say, oh, I'm using this sticker paper, and then the next time I buy some, I'll be like, no, that's horrible paper. Use this paper. So the one I'm using right now is actually label paper for the coloring stickers. So if you want stickers that you just print and they have a really nice finish, you're going to want actual finished sticker paper. But if you want coloring stickers, like, I don't know if I have any that are not colored, like these ones here that I did, and I print them out on the paper, then I can color them. So I found label paper that is full sheet labels, and I can print them out on that, and they have the really nice stickers are sticking on the back, but the paper takes the markers really well. And then I finish them with a clear contact paper over top of them, and then that just seals the ink or whatever I use to color them in and protects them, and then I can stick them. So that's what I'm using right now. But until I actually try all the different brands out that I want to try and pick them out, I don't want to like endorse a brand, because yeah, so I'm still testing it out myself. So what pencil am I using? I'm using a blue Cool Erase color pencil. So these come in tons of different colors. They're made by Prismacolor, but they're not like a regular Prismacolor color pencil. So these are the regular Prismacolor. Bleh, I can't talk today. So this is the regular Prismacolor color pencil. And when you lay this color down, it doesn't erase very well. But if you get the Cool Erase color pencils, then they do erase, as long as you don't scrub the color in too dark, which is nice. But I like them because when I go like this, they don't smudge super bad. A little bit, but not super bad. And I like colors, so I kind of got bored with graphite pencils, but that's what I use. So I have to draw a March scene. Do you have any advice of what to draw in it? So like you have to draw like a March scene, like for the month of March, something that inspires you. What I do when I have to draw something like a season or something like that, I think of what that season represents to me. So in March, there's like St. Patrick's Day is in March, so that might give you an idea of to do like a cool St. Patrick's Day rainbow picture or leprechaun picture. Sometimes the things like the weather will help inspire me. So it's Oregon, the coast of Oregon, so it rains all the time. So that's not specific to the month of March, but rainy, maybe flowers just starting to come up through the snow if you live in snowy areas. So that's my suggestion. If I ever used a bendy pencils, I had one once that was given to me as a gift and don't care for them. The ones that like you can bend all over the place. I need a sturdy pencil, so not my favorite. They're a fun little novelty. Same as those really ginormous pencils. Those were very fun, but hard to use. So I used to have a pencil collection. I would collect all types of pencils, and then I ran out of room for them, so I gave it away. So I'm eventually planning on switching live streams over to Twitch. So I'm wondering how many of you guys that would work for you, because obviously if the majority of you are like, no, we'd like you to stay on YouTube, then I can do that. But there's just a lot more that I can do on the Twitch channel. than I can do here. Like we can do music and things like that, and there's a lot of more interaction things that you can do on Twitch. So let me know in the comments if Twitch works for you, if you guys watch on Twitch, or if you've never heard of Twitch, you can, say, I've never heard of Twitch, and then that would answer that question. Which, if you haven't heard of Twitch, you should definitely check it out, because there is a ton, especially if you like live streams, there's always artists live streaming. They have the creative channel. If you go to Twitch just normally, you'll just find tons and tons of video games, people playing video games, which is fun too. But they have the creative channel, and there's just always artists creating all sorts of different type of art, pretty much any time of day. So that's where I usually go when I want to watch some live streams while I work. I was watching live streams a couple days ago because I'm spring cleaning my studio with a vengeance. So a couple of you guys are asking if I will give you a challenge. Actually, in today's video, if you guys watched today's video that I posted a little while ago, I have an artist challenge on that video. It's to draw a dragon. So if you guys want to do that challenge, make sure to send me the pictures of your dragon, and I'm going to do an artist showcase next Saturday and show off as many of the pictures as I can. I generally get so many I can't fit them all into one video, but I'm going to do a little montage video of everybody's drawings that they send me. So any type of dragon, can be an Eastern dragon like I did a tutorial for, or you can do a Western dragon, more Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and stuff like that kind of thing. Yeah. I've already gotten one submission in already. The person was very fast at drawing their dragon. Where do we send it? You can either send it to me on Instagram, like private message me the picture, or I put my email that you can send it to. It's in the description of that video. So if you check today's video, it gives the information of where to send it. Also, if you want me to give you, I don't give a verbal shout out, but if you want people to see either your DeviantArt account or your Instagram account, or if you have a YouTube channel, on your picture someplace, like put a little card with your name and your information on it so they can see the picture and your information. So if people go, oh, I love that art, I want to find out more about that artist, then you might get some people coming to check out your stuff. And you have until Friday to finish the picture and get it to me. So it's definitely not something you have to rush and finish today. Do I ever get bored of doing art? Not really. I kind of thought I would when art became my full-time job. I thought, I might get bored with it, but there's so many aspects to art. If I don't feel like drawing, there's painting. If I don't feel like painting, there's, I can do pencils, like color pencil, paper cutting, so many different things that I can do with art. So far, I have not gotten bored. And having a YouTube channel really helps kind of keep me not only accountable to continue to create art, but also has fun challenges for me, because you guys are always keeping me challenged with things. So yeah. Okay, so I got my sketch in, and now I'm going to go ahead and ink it in. I'm going to use, for those of you who would like to know, I'm using my Copic multi-liner in a 0.3. Other brands that I like to use are the Sakura Microns. I just use this one because it's more expensive and I spent money on it, so I want to use it before the ink goes bad in it. So that's the only reason I choose this one over the microns. It's actually a really heavy pen. I'm not a big fan of usually heavy pens. So is my sister telling tales on me? She is. Though I am rather proficient at the kazoo. Where can you find Copic markers for cheap? Yeah, I think every artist wants to know that one. The cheapest that I found them is usually online. Jerry's Artorama, Blick has them usually on a pretty good sale. I have found them a lot. I haven't seen them on Joann Fabrics for a while, but I haven't checked in the last month. But last time I went and checked, they had no Copic things. So I don't know if that means that they stopped selling them. But every once in a while, Joann Fabric has a phenomenal sale. I had a little hiccup with Joann Fabrics one time where they canceled my order without telling me, but they never refunded me my money. So I was waiting for 2 months and then finally had to call them, and they were all very confused about what happened and finally ended up saying, well, you canceled the order. And I said, well, I know I didn't. And if I did, wouldn't you have refunded my money? And they were like, oh. So they made it right. But it was quite the ordeal of talking to a lot of different people to get it fixed. But I did find when they had their sale that they could be like $3.50 for Copic sketches, which is a phenomenal price. But you just have to wait for those sales. I found a really good sale at my local art store, which is no more because they had a going out of business sale. So all their Copics normally were $7.50 a piece, and they had them 75% off. So like $2.50 a marker. I was like, I bought a lot of markers that day. It was kind of that frenzy, like all the artists and crafters in the area heard about it, and so we were all there. And it was like Black Friday, but it was not Black Friday. And so we're just reaching in, just grabbing markers off the case, and then we grab them and see if we wanted the color, and then we toss them back if we didn't want that color. It was pretty epic. I think I only broke like 2 or 3 bones. So what conventions am I going to be at this year? So confirmed conventions right now is the Rose City Comic Con in Portland. I have a table officially now at the Artist Alley there. So that one's in September, October, something like that. I'll make a video when it gets closer to it. And then I'm hoping to be at the Eugene Comic Con again this year. It's my plan. They haven't opened up registration yet, so I'm waiting for them to do that. At least last time I checked, they hadn't. So we will see. I was thinking about trying to get into the Cherry City Comic Con in Salem, but I don't have anyone to be my table mate, and because you have to sit at the table for like the entire time, and I'm like, I need a friend to sit with me, but I've got no friends. No, my normal Comic-Con buddy is busy that week, so I think I might skip that one. But those are the 2 that I want to do this year. I really wanted to go and just visit the Emerald City Comic-Con and just kind of see. I've never been to a super big one before, just to visit even. But I didn't make it to that one. How do I draw the body without ever, let's see, how do I draw the body without ever studying it, but using references? So like, if I haven't taken a class on, I'm not exactly sure what the question is. I use a lot of references when drawing people and figures and things like that. The more you practice it, the better you'll get, and you won't need to use references. But you definitely, if you want to be good at it, at least every artist I've known has had to practice and study it and get to know it. It takes work. So what is the fan art of? It's of Sarah from Zelda. So she was one of my favorite characters. Okay, my sister's texting me. Okay, she was just texting about the conventions. Okay. Am I going to do a video about line art weight and that kind of thing? I actually have a video on line weight, so if you want a little bit more detail on that, you can just kind of search in my video archives. I think I actually have 2 videos I talked about line weight. So right now, except for the eyes, this is all one weight of line. So if you look, the line is all pretty much the same thickness. I guess right here has a little bit weight to it. So adding line weight to your drawing is going to add a little bit more interest, but it's also going to help to convey shadows, bring things forward, push things back. So like I have a little bit of line weight here going up on her forehead because I want to push this forehead back and bring the bangs out. So like this line right here that goes with the hair going back here, I'm going to add a little line weight to that as it goes back. That just adds a little bit more shadow to it. Line weight for the longest time made absolutely no sense to me, and I would just throw thick lines here and there and mess up pictures, and it was really frustrating, and I would give up on it, and then I would see people talking about line weight and how important it is, and so I would try it and I would mess up my picture, and so I just kept at it until finally it just clicked with me. So I don't know if it's something that verbally I can explain, because it was something that people couldn't, they tried to verbally explain it to me, and I just couldn't understand it, but I would just try it until it finally clicked, and then I was like, oh, I got it, Eureka. So hopefully that answers your question about line weight. I should draw some Animal Crossing. That is one video game I have never played. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen people playing it, but I've never played Animal Crossing. I don't know why. It's for the Nintendo Wii, isn't it? Because I have a Nintendo Wii, but I don't have Animal Crossing. But then again, I don't play very many video games. I don't do a lot of things that I used to do. Art and YouTube have really taken up a lot of my time, so I have to cancel out some of the things that I used to do, and video games was one of them. Though everyone playing the Nintendo Switch, oh, I'm so tempted. I'm like, I don't have to have a huge system. I could just play it. You know, so the price tag on the Nintendo Switch made me pause, but you know, that would be fun. So if you ever like see a drastic decrease in video quality, it's probably because I started playing video games again. I only have 10 minutes to get this week's video up. Hello from France. Bonjour. It's my limit of French that I know. Sorry, but yay. Have I ever tried crafting with polymer clay? I went through a huge polymer clay phase. In fact, when I first started my YouTube channel, before I actually started, you know, like really getting into posting videos, I watched a lot of polymer clay videos and started with like a little box that I kept on my little couple of blocks of clay and my tools, and then it grew into like chests of so much clay stuff. I did a whole bunch of charms. In fact, I think some of my very first videos, I have maybe 1 or 2 videos where I do clay charms. Because I was testing, I was trying to decide if I wanted to be a drawing channel or if I wanted to do more crafting things like clay. So I ended up sticking with drawing. But I did do some things with clay. I haven't done it in a long time just because a lot of my clay dried up and I didn't want to have to invest in a whole bunch of clay again. And yeah, the whole time thing. But it is fun. I do enjoy making things with clay. Draw someone from Teen Titan. I've never actually watched that show. I tend to not draw fan art unless I've actually personally watched it. My one exception was Steven Universe Totoro cross that I did. So I dressed up Totoro from Steven Universe, but that was because someone suggested it. I was I told people to pick a random fictional character, and then people said Steven Universe. So I was like, okay. And then after I drew it, I was like, I probably should watch some Steven Universe to figure out if this character even would match with the Totoro thing. So I did that one blind. Have I ever seen RWBY? No, I haven't. It's on Netflix, I think. I don't think I've ever watched it. Is it good? Draw Nick Wilde. I thought about doing him since I did Judy over here. I thought it'd be fun to do a Nick Wilde as a human. Maybe. Did I do a Nick Wilde? I don't think I did. I'm trying to remember if I did a Nick Wilde video or not. I did a Judy video when Zootopia first came out. Maybe I could draw the Powerpuff Girls. Those are good ones. I like those Powerpuff Girls. I drew myself as a Powerpuff Girl once. I don't like that eraser. This is when your gummy eraser just totally dies on you. Ugh. It's not even that old, but something's happened to it and it's just turned sticky. There's a really long hair there, which is not mine because I don't have a long hair. But I know who does. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Probably sitting right here. I don't know. I take it day by day. You know, I'll make big plans for, the year. Like, what do I want to accomplish in that year? But you get in the 5-year goal, and there's this career changes too quickly for me to make that long of plans. If you had asked me 5 years ago what I would be doing, it would be far different from what I'm doing right now. I really seriously did not think that YouTube would pan out to be a career for me, or even being able to sustain being a professional artist. I thought I would be an art teacher, but didn't think like I could just do it this way. So yeah, I don't make that big of goals, or long-term of goals, I guess, because I think you get so focused on, not saying that if you make a long-term goal that's not a good thing, but for me, if I make a long-term goal, I focus too much on it, and I don't become flexible to do other things that come up that I can, the plan changes for me to kind of change along with it. So I have some goals for this year, though. Hopefully I'll be able to do them. Could you please answer what are the requirements to watch Twitch? Same requirements pretty much, I guess, for YouTube. You just make an account. Twitch is 100% free. You don't even need an account to watch Twitch. You can just go on Twitch and go through and search and watch it. But if you want to make comments or anything like that, then you have to have an account. So I think you need like an email, so they can, make sure and verify you're a person. So if you have made a YouTube account, then you can definitely, or if you're able to comment on YouTube, then you have all the requirements that you need. Once you start watching Twitch, you have the options to what's called subscribe to. You can follow people, and that's kind of like subscribing here on YouTube, where you get notifications when your people that you watch on Twitch are streaming. And then you can do what's called subscribing to them, and to subscribe to someone, you use your donation. I think usually about $5 or how much I paid for the people that I subscribe to. But that money goes to the artist, helps them to continue on doing their things, and then it gives you some extra perks in the chat. Depending on the Twitch creator, they have different types of perks for you for subscribing and things like that. So that's fun. I kind of lurked in the shadows for a good year before starting to really get involved with people on Twitch and all that, kind of trying to figure out how it worked, but very similar to how things work here from the viewer's perspective. I think creator's perspective is a little bit more challenging, just because there are so many things that creators can do with their Twitch viewers to make it more interactive, but it tends to be a little more intensive for the creator to figure it all out. So I'm in that process of trying to figure out, how does that creator have that feature? So learning for me. You should draw Stranger Things. Oh, that's a good show. I'm so excited for season 2 of Stranger Things. Did I draw an 11 piece? I think I did draw an 11 piece. Oh, but maybe I didn't post it. But I have drawn some 11 art. Should put 11 in my fan book. Okay. So I guess I have to watch to see if I get 11 in here. So for those of you who are just joining, this sketchbook is just fan art that is something that inspires me. And definitely 11 from Stranger Things I find very inspiring. What type of pens are you using to color pictures? So I'm using Copic markers. So they're alcohol-based markers as opposed to a water base. So with water base are like the Crayola markers. And when you lay the color down, they pretty much soak into the paper and they blend maybe a little bit. But with alcohol-based markers, you can lay the color down even after it dries completely. I can go back through and still work it as I add more of the alcohol that's in here. It's not like rubbing alcohol, but it reactivates the colors and I can move them around a little bit. You can blend them if they're similar colors. So like this pink, I can take and put it with this light purpley color and blend it out so it doesn't have such a harsh line, where you couldn't really do that with water-based markers. Oh, they're very expensive. Draw Harry Potter, please. I'm thinking about that for my book, because there's some definite inspirations in those books that I would like to. Maybe I'll have to draw my own original character of Harry Potter. That'd be so geek out. Okay, so I need to find good green hair for her hair color. I guess I could lay this down so you guys can see. I love seeing people's like Copic color charts, because then I'm like, oh, I want that color. Oh, I want that color. And so if you guys are wondering, like the X's, those are colors that I want to get. So when I see people's color charts, I'm like, oh, I like that color. Then I mark it on my paper with an X. So then when I go to order a new batch of Copic markers, then I can have it. And the bottom of that screen is glitching out, isn't it? Ugh. All right, well, let me know if it keeps glitching like that, because that's just horrible. Computer's glitching. Why? Are you the only one who doesn't have any idea what I'm drawing? No, several people have asked me who I'm drawing. And she's not a very well-known character, so it's okay. I'm drawing Sarah from Zelda, from one of the Zelda games. Just 'cause I always liked her character. She wasn't a huge, huge character like Link or Zelda herself. But I always liked her character. In fact, I don't know, did she ever come out in any of the other games as well, or was she just in the Ocarina of Time? I know it's glitching. Stop glitching, camera. Stop it. Okay, I think it's behaving itself now. Just needed to start talking to you. Yes, and thank you guys. If people are asking what I'm drawing, please feel free just to answer them in the comments, because I feel like I've had to say it like 45 bazillion times already. And you guys are like, oh, she's explaining it again. But with new people joining, because she's not a well-known character, not very many people are going to go, oh, I know exactly who she is. Maybe once I get the green hair in there, then she'll be a little bit more recognizable. So thoughts on Nintendo Switch? I don't know, but maybe you guys should send me one and I'll give you a review. I don't know, it looks really cool. But I am curious to see what people think, if it lives up to the hype that it has. I haven't watched any playthroughs yet. I'm still kind of on the fence if I want to watch the new Zelda game playthrough, or if I want to just wait and hope that one day I get to play it myself. So you were watching Cinderella and then you saw this was on. Woo! I beat out Cinderella. Yeah. Can I draw fairy tale chibis? That would be cute. I like fairy tales like, you know, Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast kind of fairy tales, or a fairy tale like the anime cartoon fairy tale, which I did watch a couple of episodes, but then Netflix stopped carrying it, so I wasn't able to watch anymore. I was just getting into it, and it's gone. Hi, Haley. Welcome to the stream. Beanie is very excited about getting Copics from Amazon. When you get your Copics and do your first picture, you have to send me a copy of your picture so I can see what you created. I'm in the midst of spring cleaning my studio and actually came across the very first picture that I colored using Copic markers. I was like, oh, this was it. This was what changed my financial life forever. All right, little break, have a little hot cup of tea. So my friend got me this amazing thing, because I love having tea, but it always gets cold up here. So it's this little glass stand. I think you guys can see it. No, go this way. Then you put a little tea light in there, and then you put your teapot on top of it, and it keeps your tea hot, like really nicely hot. So I'm having orange spice tea with a little bit of honey. All right, need my picture again. Okay, let's see, a lighter green for her shirt. Crunchyroll has all the episodes and it's free. I know. I should get onto Crunchyroll. Can you watch Crunchyroll like on your smartphone or iPhone, or do you have to watch it on a computer? I'm trying to read my sister's comment. I'm like, aw, when Val first played Zelda, she could play it so much she dreamed about it. I know, that was my favorite thing to do, was when I would get like my 2 days off in a row, I would turn my living room into like a little nest. So I would carry out all the blankets and pillows, and I would just get like a really large pizza or something and a whole bunch of soda, and I would just video game out. Oh, so fun. So I did that with Zelda. I did that with Kingdom Hearts. Oh, I love that game. Did that with the Sims game. Man, I played Sims so much that when I would be in the real world, I was like, I just have to save up to get that pool table. Oh wait, that's the Sims world. I got a little mixed up. Those colors did not blend well, and this is drying out. It's really harder to tell when dark colored markers dry out, because when the markers dry out, their tips turn white. Generally, with lighter toned ones, they do. You can see it better. But with darker ones, it's harder because they're so stained that it's hard to see if they are running low or not. Can I draw things from Undertale? I still have not watched Undertale, so I don't know anything about the characters. I think I watched like part 1 of the playlist for it, but just have never got back into watching it. Do I like Final Fantasy? I've only Final Fantasy X. I think that's the one that I played like more times than I should probably ever admit. I would play through it. I would like challenge myself to play the whole game and beat it in a weekend. Yeah, I like that game. I haven't played that in so long. Oh, I'd love to play that one again. What am I looking for? I don't know. I want, what do I want? I want D28. Do I play Sims 4? No, I got up to Sims 3 and hardly got a chance to play that one. I got Sims 3 when I was really starting to get into doing YouTube, and that's when I really decided that I had to make a decision on, what priorities I had, because I can get so sucked in. I have no restraint when it comes to video games. So I will video game out for hours and hours and stay up to like 4 in the morning playing video games, and then it's just really hard to create an intelligible video when you've spent 12 hours playing video games. So I had to stop playing that. I was also in the midst of playing Skyrim, which I really liked that one too. Liked all the dragons and all the different villages you could find. Never finished that one either. Could I do a piece inspired by the Day of the Dead? I have done one Sugar Skull piece. So I have a video on that, which I did last fall, I think. So you can check that one out, if that's what you're referring to. I don't play much, but I build on Sims 4. I have watched people do builds on Sims 4, and I think that would be what I would do the most, would just do builds on Sim 4. Oh my goodness. Like, I watched this one video where they totally built Hogwarts in Sims 4. Unbelievable, like, what you can do. So my sister and I used to play Sims all the time. And we had great fun with that, have some good memories. So yeah, April, if you haven't checked out Sims 4 builds after the stream's over, go check them out. They're amazing. Have I ever thought about doing a multi-stream with other artists? I've thought about it, definitely. I'm trying to get myself where I'm comfortable doing live streams. I think I finally am. I didn't have my little mini panic attack before this stream happened. Usually I'm like, okay, I'm so nervous. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Not yet. Oh. So I'm getting better. I'm feeling more comfortable with it. I think it would be fun to do multiple streams, but then I have to figure out how to do that. They've changed the way they're doing their live streams now. So their old way that YouTube used to do live streams, I knew how to do that kind of thing. But with the new one, I don't know if that's possible, or if it is, how to do it. So I'll have to do some research. I thought it'd be fun to do some live streams with other YouTubers. Uh-oh, my sister's taking names and timing people out. Remember to be kind in the stream comments, please. Don't be a meanie beanie. So what digital tablet do I recommend for beginners? I started off with a Wacom. Mine was called a Bamboo. I don't know if they still have Bamboo. I know they do, but I think it might have a different name. But it's under $100. It's a tablet. It doesn't show the screen on it, so you plug it into your computer, you draw on the tablet, and then it appears on the monitor of your computer. And I had that for years, probably 10, 15 years to use the Bamboo. And then I finally switched over to the Cintiq, which has the actual screen on the monitor, so you can actually, it looks like you're drawing right on the monitor. And I love that, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it for someone who's just starting off, simply because they can cost a couple of grand, and it's an investment. So, I mean, if that's something you want to buy, I wouldn't say don't do it. It's not like toe shoes. I wanted to buy toe shoes when I was a teenager. I'd taken like 2 summers of ballet. I didn't know a lot about ballet, but I wanted toe shoes, and they wouldn't sell them to me. They're like, no, you have to be a ballerina to buy toe shoes. It's very sad. So my sister found me some toe shoes that someone sent to Goodwill, and so I have toe shoes. They're 3 sizes too small, so basically my toe fits in them, and that's all. But I have toe shoes. I also have 2 of these markers. I have 2 Y11s, or no, Y13s. Why do I have 2 Y13s? I don't know. I think I bought a pack. I think they had a couple duplicates in them. But I have before bought markers that I already owned. It's like, what? I didn't have that on my list. That's why you have to keep your list updated to what you have. Any Copic marker alternatives? There's a lot of markers coming out. If you just do a YouTube search for Copic alternative marker videos. There's tons of them out there. I did one with Spectrum Noir markers and Copics when I did my switch over. And I've done a video with the Pro markers, but this just really, it's an investment even in the cheaper alternative ones to invest into. So that's why I don't have them. But a lot of other YouTubers have done that. I'm curious to see what the new markers that are the Blick brand, how good they are. So I know a couple of YouTubers are going to be doing a video on them. So I'm curious to see what theirs look like. What H or B pencil would you recommend best for drawing? Depends. It's really a personal preference as an artist. I know some people that like hard lead, which is your H, so your 2H, 3H, 4H, anything that has an H in it, it's hard lead, which means it's going to have a really light picture. It's not going to have that really super dark lead. So if you like to see a dark line, then you're not going to want to go with an H pencil. The nice thing about H pencils is they don't smudge as bad. So when you get into the B pencils, standing for a black, it has a darker lead. And so you're going to get a really, really dark line really easily. You don't have to push really hard, but you're going to get a lot of smudging. So what I did is I tested a few out. If your art store doesn't let you test out pencils, you might just have to buy a couple. So, you know, buy a 2H and buy a 2B and then test that to see which one you like better. And then you'll kind of narrow it down to find what works best for you. And then you'll find out that you love these ones, the little Glorious color pencils. Are your favorites. Can I draw Princess Mononoke? Oh, I love Princess Mononoke. I did a fan art piece. I didn't record it, but I did a fan art piece of Princess Mononoke to sell it at my artist alley at my last convention, and my best friend bought it before I even got it there, so I was like, yay, close to a happy home. But I might have to have Princess Mononoke in here. I probably will have a lot of Miyazaki. Speaking of Miyazaki, I'm so excited. One of my local theaters is playing Howl's Moving Castle tonight and tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm going to go see it tomorrow. So if you've never seen any Miyazaki films, that's some good anime. Kind of like, people say he's like the Walt Disney of Japan, but he's totally his own person. He's just amazing. I don't want to like, totally, you know, yeah. He's Miyazaki. He's his own legend in his own right. All right. I have to look at my photo of Sarah because I can't remember what color eyes she had. What are your eyes? Is it blue? Or they are blue. I would have guessed green. And I would have guessed wrong. Blue. What kind of multi-liners would I recommend for beginners? So I like the brand of Sakura, right here, the Sakura microns. One, you can get them at a lot of different stores, so they're not hard to find. Two, they're relatively, as far as inking pens go, affordable. I wouldn't say they're cheap, but they're affordable. And they come in a lot of different sizes. I prefer the 0.3. It gives me a thin enough line without being super delicate. So for a long time, I would have a 0.01. Let's see if I can find a 0.01. But I found the nibs would wear out way too fast. For some reason, I don't have a 0.01 anymore. And then definitely, like, here's, I don't know if you guys can even see it, This is a 005, which is like the finest nib I've ever found. And it, see, it has a really thin line. And this one's a 05, so it has, that one's dried out. He's dead. Dead mark over your shoulder. There's like a 03. So, yeah, I'd go with a 03, especially if you're brand new to inking in lines. I think it'll hold up better for you. All right. So do I animate? I have done some animation. Animation takes a long time to do. I do have this project I have been working on for a while, and I will be working on it for a longer while because it is animated, so it takes forever. But I did animate the intros to my videos in the last, like, I think 2 videos. I've had the new intro, which is really fun. And I found this one technique of how to animate that basically you just, you can take any drawing you want. Like I could even take this drawing here and I could animate it. It's fairly easy. And you scan this image into your computer, and then using Photoshop or a photo editing software, you can manipulate the picture. And so I could make her head kind of bob around a little bit. Or if I drew her eyes closed, like separately, I could put closed eyes over top of these ones, and so make it look like she's blinking, but it would be really easy. It was super fun. So I ended up doing the opening intro for my video, and that was fun. So if you guys want to see how I did that, I know it kind of sounded a little bit weird. You can check out, I think it was last Monday's video, animating the intro or opening to my video. You can check out that video. I learned it from a company called Skillshare, which is a fantastic company. And I say that not because they want me to, but because they're not asking me to say it here. I can just tell you they're a fantastic company. They're like YouTube with their tutorials, so they have tutorials on so many things, but for the most part, all of them are really professional. Like if I'm watching tutorials on YouTube, inevitably I'll come across a tutorial of a person who's trying something out for the very first time. And so it's more of a tutorial on how to do this. No, wait, that doesn't work. Let's do it this way. Yeah, this kind of works. I'm sure you guys have found videos like that before too. But their videos are usually very professional and really highly organized. So they are kind of broken into little sections, so you can take them a larger project and breaks it down. But I found one, oh goodness, I'm trying to remember what the class was called. Something about little illustrations, big animations, I think. Anyway, Skillshare has an monthly cost, but if you guys check out the video, there's a link in the video, and you guys get 2 months for free. There's no obligation to buy further or anything like that. You can just sign up and play around for 2 months. And if you plan it right, you could probably get through a lot of the videos that you'd want to look at in 2 months' time. So don't do it right before you go on like a 2-week vacation or something. But if you have like, a couple of weeks free, sign up for your free trial. I did that one time. It wasn't to Skillshare, it was to something else that it was some software, like you can like order software, but they give you like a 2-month trial. And so I got the 2-month trial, and then I realized I'm leaving for on a vacation like the next day. So it was like a 1-week trial. I ended up having it for like a day. So yeah, plan your free trials out. Make the most of them. Well, if I'm looking for a faster way at doing this, this is definitely taking me much longer than most of my drawings do. But that's because I'm having fun talking with you guys. So I blame you, but it was been fun. So yeah. So is anyone else doing any other art while they're watching this? Let me know. What are you guys working on for art? Let's see what color? Inside of the flower. Let's make it, let's do that pink color. Add some of this pink in here and tie it in together. So put some pretty harsh color there. So then if I go back in with a lighter shade, I can soften that up using the markers. That's light. I'm coloring a girl I drew. I'm doodling on my dog. Doodling on your dog or doodling your dog? Probably doodling your dog. That would be challenging to doodle on your dog. I'm drawing my original character. I want to draw, but I have no inspiration to do so. I hate when that happens. That's why I'm doing the sketchbook, because these are just, the sketchbook is going to be filled with things that have inspired me by other artists. So it's all fan art, but it's what inspires me. And so hopefully when I have those days that I'm just like, meh, I can look through it and go, I'm inspired. And that, I like to draw fan art, and it gives me a good reason to draw fan art and create a sketchbook. Alright, well I'm going to call this one Good to Go. So, one thing to know about markers is they definitely bleed through. So if you're using a sketchbook, there are sketchbooks, and there is one that I want to try, a brand of sketchbook that does not bleed through. You can use marker paper, but it still bleeds through on the other side, but doesn't bleed through on here. But there's a sketchbook that they claim on the Blick website that you can use both sides, whether you're using marker or not. So I'm thinking about purchasing it and trying it out. So if I do, I'll let you guys know. I'll do a little review on it. But yeah, if you're using markers and you don't want to dirty up the next paper, have a little blotting sheet. It's very handy. But I don't know, I kind of like the backside looks of the pictures. Gives you a little peek. Whoa! Well, guys, it has been about an hour. I was hoping to draw for an hour, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pause on the sketchbook, work on it some more. So if you guys want to follow along with the pictures that I'm doing in my sketchbook, definitely follow me on my Instagram account. I post pretty much every picture on there, so you can kind of see them. And then when I finish the whole sketchbook, which my goal is to have it finished by the end of this month, I'll do a sketchbook tour. So that'll be fun to look through all of the pictures. And I'm sure I will probably do more live streams where I'm working on this. Or if I decide to do the end animation for my art channel, I will maybe work on part of that on a live stream. So yeah. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with me. Thank you to my sister for hanging out and moderating the channel. So if you guys can give a big yay, thank you April, or high fives, or yeah, that'd be great, because I love it that she can jump in and hang out, keeps the chat moving nicely, and she lets me know if I miss a comment that's important. She texts me on my phone saying, let's talk about this. People want to know about that. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for drawing with me again. If you want to do the art challenge that I did I posted about it in my video today on how to draw an Eastern dragon. So if you want to get a shout out for either your YouTube channel or Instagram or whatever, make sure to watch that video so you can find out how to be involved in that kind of art challenge. And until next time, thanks for hanging out with me. God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye. After the video.